Hey guys, what is up? It is Bibzuda7 here again, and welcome to another RuneScape 3 video here today on the new skill Archaeology. In this video, we are going to be doing another mystery guide here, and this is going to be for the final mystery at the Caradat dig site, the Vault of Shadows. And this is probably my favorite mystery of the skill, as far as I can tell. I've done them all at this point, so I will be having the last, I think there's only 2 more guides or 3 left before I have them all, but this is definitely my favorite, as it has the coolest puzzles and is just the most interesting one in my opinion, followed closely, I believe, by the Contract Clause mystery at the Infernal Source, and then probably Dagon By and is next, and then the Everlight mysteries at the end. But anyways, let's get into this. Let me put away this silk. But to complete this mystery, you will need a level 107 Archaeology, although I believe you can do it with the boost starting from 105. And you will need a restored version of each scroll from the Caradat dig site. 1 Insight Fear scroll, which is level 58. 1 Exsanguinate scroll, which is level 86. 1 Smoke Cloud scroll, which is level 100, and 1 Animate Dead scroll, which is level 107. You'll also need a Pontifex Signet Ring and a Legatus Pendant. I have those on my tool belt now since the Monday update, but you will need those as well to complete this mystery here. So, heading into the main fortress, and I will point out where you can get the scrolls while we're doing it here. Also, I'm going to be using the puzzle solutions from the wiki. I did solve the puzzles by myself, but it took me a really long time and I didn't write down what I did. So I'm just going to be taking the puzzle solutions from the wiki for this, so it's just nice and fast and streamlined. So we're going to do them in order from level. So starting in the prison, you'll see in here, this is where you can get the Insight Fear scroll, which is in the Legatus barrier area at the Karaserm debris. You can get the Insight Fear spell scroll there. This is the barrier you need the Legatus pendant to get past. Also, by the way, you will need to have completed the Breaking the Seal mystery, the Prison Break mystery, and the Time Served mystery for this, so I'll put all those down in the description below. And also, I will put a link to the how to solve all the shadow, or where all the shadow pylons are, or the shadow anchors, because you will need those as well unless you're going to be going to do this during while the big pylon is active. But anyways, come through the door that you opened during the Time Served mystery, and you want to come over to this dial right here. And this was so cool when I figured this out. Like, I kind of started to piece it together when I saw that each one of these scrolls was one of the colors of the Ancient Magic's elements, just like the door from the Prison Break mystery. And I could also see these lights down here that looked like the same thing. So I kind of figured it out in that way. And then I just sort of used these scrolls based on the area they were in. So this one you get from the prison, and the other ones you'll see you use them in the area you get them to on these dials. So go ahead and cast Insight Fear, Glacium Metis, and the dial will light up blue. You will have uncovered the Vault of Shadows, and you will lose these scrolls, by the way. Forgot to mention that, but you then want to press the button to enter the vault. And I think you can actually go and light up all the dials and then just come and do the puzzle in any order. But I think it changes whenever you complete it, but we're just going to do it all at once here. So you'll also be getting lore pages while you do this. The first one's here on the ground. You can read those, the Praetor's log pages. I did read them. They're pretty interesting bits of lore. But basically each one of these, and you'll find out through the log notes that the solution to these is the same as the one you did from the Prison Break mystery. So that's shadow, blood, smoke, ice from top to bottom. However, there's obviously 4 rows here, or columns here, and each one of these puzzles has a different grid of controls on the ground, and each one of them will have different behaviors based on the way the controls work. So the first one's pretty simple. The control basically flips the 4 square, or the 4 circles in a I think it's counterclockwise, but it just will move all the ones in that one spot. So if I click this, you'll see it actually goes clockwise. So the red will go down, and it just goes in a square like that. And that works in every way. So this one, the middle one is the middle 4, bottom one's the bottom 4, and then the ones in the middle row actually go across the whole door. So it would be, the top middle would be these 2 and these 2. But anyways, yeah, that's how it basically works. And this one's pretty easy to solve on your own, but I'll go ahead and do it based on the wiki guide, because that's probably the quickest actual method. So you want to go ahead and I'm going to start from facing north, and you want to go ahead and go dial forward on the northeast one once, dial forward on the east one once, dial backwards on the northeast. You do have to right click to dial backwards. Do the southwest one backwards one time, do the directly south one forward 2 times, the southeast one forward 2 times, the center one forward 1 time, the northern one backward 1 time, the southern one backward 1 time, the west one forward 1 time, and then lastly the northwest forward 1 time. And as you can see, it's shadow, blood, smoke, ice on every single column, and the door will open, granting you 2,500 Archaeology XP and your second log page. You can also study this central vault for a piece of special research. But as of right now, your main goal is to open this vault, and to do so, you need to open all 4 of these doors. That'll give you the lockdown special research. But yeah, you want to go ahead and leave the vault exit now because you can't get to the other spots through here. And then we're going to head to the second spot, which is going to be at the church, I believe, is the second one. So head back out through the prison and go to the church. This is where you're going to need the Pontifex signet ring. By the way, you get the Legatus pendant right here at the Presidio remains, and the Pontifex signet ring within there, where the Insight Fear spell scroll is as well. But yeah, heading down now to the church, you're going to need the Exsanguinate spell scroll. And exsanguinate is, of course, like a blood type deal. I don't really know what exactly it means, but it has something to do with blood. So head on through the barrier with your signet ring, and there will be a dial on the north wall here. Go ahead and cast your exsanguinate spell scroll while standing near the dial, and you will be able to press the blood button now to enter the vault. And this puzzle will be a bit different. Okay, sorry about that. I had to take a little cut there, but yeah, we're going to solve this second puzzle coming in here, and as you can see, this room's a little bit bigger. There's actually a boat right here which you can board that will spit you out in the Caridian Desert by the river, and that actually gives you an achievement. You read in some of the lore pages that they will use that to escape or something at some point. But yeah, so same situation, except the controls are different, but the controls do the same things as they did in the last puzzle. So this top left one will still move these 4 in a square. So it's a little bit more difficult, but not too bad because it's still the same controls, and those controls are pretty easy, especially considering the ones that come later on. But yeah, we're going to go ahead and solve this one. Again, I'm using the wiki guide for this because I don't want to just bumble through it on my own. Although I do recommend you give them a try to solve on your own because it was pretty enjoyable for me when I did it. But yeah, you want your camera to make sure your camera is facing north, and we're going to get started here. So you're going to start with southwest backwards once, the middle button forward once, northwest forward twice. So make sure you see those move twice. Southwest backwards once, middle backwards twice, northeast forwards once, southeast forwards once, middle backwards once, northeast backwards twice. A little bit hard to click on these things sometimes. Middle backwards twice, northeast backwards once, middle backwards once, southwest backwards once, southeast forwards once, middle forwards once, southeast forwards once again, middle forwards once again, southeast forward once again, southwest forward once, middle forward once, southwest backwards once, and then middle twice forwards. And there you have it. We have shadow, blood, smoke, ice on all 4 once again, and you'll get a 3rd log page and the door will be opened, although again you still can't access any more of the vault from that. So we are going to head back now through the vault exit back to the church, and now we're going to be doing the smoke cloud spell scroll, which is in the culinarium area right to the north of here, requiring level 100 archaeology. And you'll get this scroll from the culinarium debris. They'll give you the smoke cloud spell scroll along with the Vigorem vial. And the dial is right here on the west wall of this area. Go ahead and cast your Smoke Cloud spell scroll while you're here, and the button will light up green, and you'll be able to use it to enter the vault once again from a different side. If you don't notice while you're doing this, you're coming at it basically from all four sides in the end. And this one, again, a bit bigger. And then the controls, as you can see, look quite a bit different on this one. There are 4 down the middle in a row, and then there are 4 horizontally. And basically these let you control the columns and rows directly. So if I click on this one right here, it'll make this column cycle downwards, as you can see. So that's how they work. And then the vertical line will make the rows cycle from left to right. So it's a pretty, honestly, this one's not too hard either comparatively to, I think the last one I had quite a lot of trouble with. It took me quite a decent amount of time to figure out, but yeah, this one's not too bad either. So we're going to go ahead and solve it here. And it's going to be a bit harder for me to say where these buttons are. So I will put a link in the description to the wiki guide for those of you who want to use that just for solving the puzzle parts. So that might be helpful to you because the buttons are obviously not the easiest to tell the difference of in this scenario, considering the way they're arranged. But anyways, we're going to go ahead and do it here. So we're going to move the column. I guess I could label the buttons on my video maybe. But the wiki does have a picture of it. I'll put them in the description as well. So anyways, let's just do it. So we're going to click this button here. Then the final button in the columns, click the far south button twice, and then this button here once, and that's the first set. They have them in sets on the wiki. One of this, click this button 3 times, the bottom button once, and then the one up from it, and the bottom button 2 times, the far south button 2 times, and the bottom button once again, and 2 more times after that even. Then the far south button twice, the button second to the north 1 time and 1 time again, and then the bottom button there, 1 from the north twice, 1 from the south once, the far north button 1 time, this one that is 1 from the east 3 times, the far east 1 time, far north 1 time, far east 3 times, 1 from the south once, twice, and a 3rd time, far north 3 times, far east 3 times, and the far north 3 times again. And there you have it. Sorry if that was hard to follow. It is a bit, sorry, 1 second. It is a bit difficult to describe where those buttons are, but I did my best. Again, if you want, there is a link to the wiki in the description for that puzzle. But you'll get a 4th log page for that. The door will be opened once again, and now you just have 1 more to go here. So we're going to head back out and go to the war table. And this is where you need the shadow anchors all powered or the large pylon to be active. And this one, although the actual solution is not that difficult when you know the order, it's not that many steps. The way these the lights move and the controls work on this one just really screwed me up, and it took me a while to solve. But once you're in the war table, which you do have to have the shadow anchors powered, the dial is right over here to the, and this is where you get the scroll, the ancient magic munitions, give you the animate dead spell scroll. So we're going to cast that right here next to the dial on the west wall, and you'll have the shadow button, which is the final button, and you can enter the vault. So these buttons are going to be arranged in a V shape, as you'll see here, and yeah, it's super confusing. So I'm going to try and describe, yeah, I think I remember how these work. So the top button on either side will affect a diagonal line of the dials starting from the top left. So if I click this button in the top left, it would make this blood dial move here, and then it would go across. So this smoke would go here, this blood would go here, and this ice would wrap back around to here. And it's the same way with the other side, so it goes in a diagonal line down from the up right to the bottom left. And then the two middle buttons actually affect the other dials that aren't affected by those two diagonal lines. So these four right here, this shadow, ice, ice, and shadow, and it'll cycle those in a loop. So it would make this shadow go up top, this shadow move here, and like that. And then the bottom button moves these four right here. So it kind of lets you move them in between the diagonal area or the other one that's like kind of like a weird trapezoid shape, I guess. It's really hard to describe, and it took me a while to even figure out what the buttons were doing. I had to mess with them like forever. Okay, so let's just go ahead and get started here. You're going to want to move the bottom button forwards 2 times. 1 and 2. You're going to want to move the top left button backwards once. The bottom button backwards 2 times. The top left button backwards 1 time. The top right button backwards 1 time. The middle left button forwards 2 times. The middle right button forwards 1 time. The top left button backwards 1 time. The bottom button backwards 1 time. The top left button forwards 1 time. The top right button backwards 1 time. The bottom button forwards twice. The top right forwards once. The middle right, or middle left rather, backwards once. The bottom button backwards once. The middle left backwards once. The bottom forwards twice. The middle right forwards twice. And the bottom forwards twice again. And there you have it. So hopefully that was not too hard to follow. Again, link in the description for the wiki guide on that. But after you have solved the final puzzle, you'll see the Vault of Shadows will open up, and you'll be able to enter it. And inside is something you might recognize if you've done the Koschei's Troubles mini quest. It's an engrameter. So pick that up. And yeah, your character's a little bit disappointed, but you will have a shadow engrameter, which is depleted. And if you have done that that mini quest, you'll know you'll need to charge this thing up with divination memories. So you're going to need to go train divination and collect 500 memories of vibrant tier or better, which is I think level 60, and and you'll need to click recharge with this and then charge it up with those memories. Once you have fully charged it, we will be returning. So I'm going to go charge this thing up, and I will be back in a minute. Okay, so once you have your fully charged engrameter, which should only take 10 to 15 minutes depending on how much attention you're paying while you're at the divination spot, you just want to head back to the one of the vault buttons and just go inside. Doesn't matter which one, because it is just going to be back to the center, which is now open, and you can access any of the sides now from any button. So I'm just heading over to this one. Maybe the Praetorium War Table one would have been a bit quicker, but you can also now use this to travel between the different ones. Like you can use it to go inside of the prison more quickly. It's like a little bit of a fast travel, but not going to be that useful. But yeah, you want to come down and stand where the engrameter was located, and you're going to want to operate it while you're standing in there, and you will receive Trendine's memory. So you've got that now, and you want to head back to the dig site and talk to Dr. Nabanik with the mysteries option and the Vault of Shadows. You'll tell him you got the memory, and he will transcribe it into a book for you. So you'll now have that. You want to read the book, and it says you feel your connection with the Shadow will intensify. It says some stuff about the vault in there you can read if you'd like. But you want to head back now to the vault once again. And if I'm remembering correctly, I think you would need the Ring of Visibility for this if you haven't seen Into the Shadow from Sliske, or anything, but maybe they removed that with the war table change as well. I'm not sure. I know on my main account I did need to bring a ring of visibility, so if Trendine does not show up in the vault for you, grab a ring of visibility out of your bank. And oh yeah, this guy is also here. I think he's new when you complete this mystery. But yeah, you want to enter the vault and make sure you have the ring of visibility. If you're not able to see her, like, you can go back and grab it, but if you are able to see her like I am, because I have this see into the shadows ability, you can just talk and they'll mistake you for Sliske. He's, you know, kind of not around anymore. Azanadra will show up. You know, if you read the lore, you'd have a little bit more information on what's going on there, but that is the mystery solved. So 30,000 archaeology XP for that, and you will have completed, I've now completed all the mysteries at Caradet, so that is a little broadcast for that. So yeah, pretty cool, enjoyable mystery. I really liked these puzzles when I was doing them, and I had a good time with it. Hope this helped you guys out. Sorry if the puzzles were a bit complicated. It was kind of hard to dictate how to actually solve them since they were just buttons on the floor, but yeah, that is the mystery solved there, and I will see you guys for the final mystery guide, or well, there's two more mystery guides, I guess. We'll have one for the Warforged one, and then one for the final general mystery. So I'll see you guys for the next video, and peace out.